Hey, it's me. This is a cube and someone decided to create a world out of it. He named it cubeworld. Cubeworld is a fantasy RPG filled with magical elements, badass-looking bosses, and world generation beyond comprehension. A perfect game for a chill, laid-back experience. Or should I say, was. Before the developer decided to throw the whole game inside the centrifuge and turn the entire project upside down. Or at least that's what the reviews say on Steam, and I know better than to play a game that is hated by its community. So that's why in today's video we embrace blissful ignorance and take a deep dive into the world of Alpha Cubeworld. To find out, was the game actually fun, or is it just nostalgia that brightens my memories? Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay, cut the dramatic music. Let me establish what is going on. This video idea has been lingering in my mind for quite some time. About half a year ago, I have stumbled upon one of my old pen drives, and it contained a not so honestly acquired version of Alpha Cubeworld. Honestly, I don't even know which version and how virus-free this is, but what I do know is that the last time I've launched it was in 2013. For context, that date is older than my Steam account. Now let that sink in. Okay, are you done sinking that in? Then shall we continue? To accurately measure how good this game was, I decided to reach level 50 on a brand new character, acquire one legendary weapon, and get myself a pet worthy of a lizardman like I am. Can we achieve all of this and still keep my love for the game, or will the pink vapor wave of nostalgia vanish faster than a sneaky fart in the wind? Well, let's find out. As in every mediocre RPG game, we start with character creation, and in this game we have quite a few options to choose from, like default with big ears, Tyler 1, Israeli, scale, the one we are actually going to choose, and alongside with your race, you can also choose your gender, hairstyle, and class action lawsuit. For humans, these options basically just comes down to tax evasion, money laundering, human trafficking, breeding, and for me, personal data harvesting. Okay, after you put together your litigation, you can take a ponder at the 4 different classes this game has to offer. Classes like the warrior, archer, mage, or racist. Each balanced with certain strengths and weaknesses. Anyway, we are going to pick Archer for one singular reason, which I'm not going to disclose for now because at the moment we have a bigger fish to fry. First of all, we are laughably broke both in the money and the levels department. With only 5 potions, a barely functional bow and 20 copper to our name, we are basically lower on the food chain than a squirrel with a soccer bopper. So our main objective is to raise some capital and as fast as possible. At first, I considered asking strangers for spare change, but this quickly ended with me turning into a puddle of miso soup. So I tried picking on someone a bit closer to my own weight class. Okay, I can clearly see this is not going to work. Oh, hello. Okay, say less. After acquiring this information, all I had left to do is to craft up a plan for fundraising. So I compounded plan B, which consisted of foreign equity management. By this I mean I started pilfering the nearby fields for pumpkins and sold them to the traders. And this type of business model works because the pumpkins I'm selling are not even mine. I just asked the locals for investments towards my new unicorn in the form of various vegetables. But just as fate would have it, they are never going to see neither the unicorn nor their money. Okay, now that we have some starting capital, it is time to hit up the local arms dealer. Good day. Hello. Can you help me? Woohoo! Looks like this is not working.
Oh, hello! How can I help you, sir?
Well, I'm looking to buy a better weapon.
Oh, then look no further, adventurer. We've got a sword, mace, and if your gold's bright, the whole shop's for sale. Oh, you want a bow? Name the right price and it's yours to take. Just be advised, once you pay, there's no mail in rebate.
Why are you rhyming? Whatever, not like I care. Just take my money and give me that one.
Consider it done.
Oh. Okay, I have just bought a better weapon, but I am too low level to use it. Luckily, the town folks came to my rescue on this one as well. Oh, you son of a bitch! Okay, quick side note, always stock up on glass bottles when you are in a town. You will need them for health potions. You can thank me later. See, you will never know when you will need them. And on the topic of needing it, there are a bunch of items out in the world waiting for you to collect and are essential for gameplay. Like these heart flowers, which I can use to create more health potions, or these bushes, which I can use to craft better bows, or these hooligans, who I can use to buy dinner.
Hello there.
It really is a simple game. And before I knew it, I was level 2. Now I was able to use my boomerang and get access to skill points. And oh boy, the skill tree is a work of art in my opinion. First, you have your 3 combat abilities, followed by pet stuff, and closing off with climbing and swimming. And if you level each skill with 5 points, it unlocks the next level after it. It's simple, it's understandable, and it's effective. I love it. Look, for example, archers get this cool kick at level 1, by level 3 you can unlock this backdash, and by level 7 you can get your ultimate ability, which could either turn you into a sniper or a runner, changing up your playstyle quite a bit depending on what you choose. Compared to this, the other 3 trees are way simpler in this regard. The first skill in each increases pet health, climbing and swimming speed, and the upgrades unlock pet riding, hang gliding or sailing. Pretty much the adventure mobility stuff. But I feel like I've yapped enough about skilling stuff, so let's do some killing now. Using the boomerang I have bought, I quickly made work of some low-level monsters and ventured into a daily dungeon. Daily dungeons are marked by these giant sword crosses in the map, and they are usually adjusted to your power level, so it does not matter when you are attempting one, it will always drop loot at your level. And with that being said, I cleared out this castle with the same level of ease as someone would have with getting a piece of sausage unstuck from their teeth. And got absolutely nothing in return for it, except we finally hit level 3. Okay, maybe that's not 100% true. With clearing the dungeon, I got my hands on the first pet food of this run. This is not the one we will need to get our desired pet, but if we find a mosquito or a monkey, I will tame it without a second thought, because as an archer, having a bullet sponge of a pet is quite nice. Okay, can we talk about this? I cannot describe how much I hate the fire mage attacks in this game. These motherfuckers have aim that would put Enerlondo archers to shame. If you're not dealing with them first, you shouldn't even bother dealing with anybody else for the matter, because you are already fucking dead. Okay, funny rant over. Onward I went towards Gallon Valley to get my hands on more experience and more money. This was all rainbows and sunshine until I got to go head to head with the boss, and my weapon proved to be less useful against his armor than a slightly bigger than average sized pit in the extinguishing of the Californian bushfires. Nice try, it only grazed my ear. Okay, we might have to do some leveling before I can attempt this again. Some might even say it is time to do some solo. Okay, this was terrible. I promise I won't do it again. So onward I went to the next daily dungeon with our new skill, because I have finally reached level 4, which meant I could learn the backdash from the skill tree, and it lets me do this. That's right, with the right tech you can go from IV to connector faster than Z-block could handle it. And as I was going at it sideways, I stumbled upon a peacock. For context, this was one of the animals I have found a pet food for, so without wasting a second, I tamed it and added it to my collection. And with the help of our newly found damage sponge, I quickly made work of another daily dungeon and leveled up to 5. Which meant I could start leveling another skill, which would help us dramatically. Wall climbing. But if we want to benefit from our newfound strength, we have to go back to the village to buy and craft some upgrades for us. For starters, I have sold all my unwanted items to the trader, which got us 58 silver coins. And this was more than enough for what I wanted to buy. So I made my way over to the generic store and bought 50 glass bottles for potions and a hang glider for our future explorations. Moreover, I crafted myself a new boomerang and a set of silk armor from the bushes I have been collecting. And after talking to the innkeeper, I have set my sights on the 4 new daily bosses which have been revealed. And I guess you guys know what is going to happen next. It is solo level. Yeah, I know it's still cringe. By the end of this rampage, I have reached level 7, killed 2 out of the 4 daily world bosses and got myself quite an upgrade. A new pet, a better bow and a shiny blue armor. Also, now we were able to unlock hang gliding in the skill tree. And now I will show you the main reason why we picked Archer. You see, hang gliding at a low level by itself is not really better than just walking to your destination. But if we combine our dashing skills momentum with our hang glider, well, that's a different story.
Observe.
Whee! So yeah, this little trick lets us traverse the land at an unimaginable speed. This means we can slay daily bosses left, right and center faster than any character could at this stage of the game. Is it a bug abuse or just a nice little feature? Well, I will let you decide, but what I can say for certain is that this little trick will speed up our leveling tenfold. And we will need those levels if we want to venture outside of our starting area. So let's get to slaying. Demon slay. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, I made quick work of the solo world bosses like this giant turtle or this Belarusian national and checked out the surrounding biomes. After this, I was back in the main city, stocked up on supplies and crafted a new bow on the green star level. Perhaps I should explain this quickly. There are 5 rarity tiers in this game: common, uncommon, rare, epic and legendary. The color code goes without saying, and with each rarity the crafting cost goes up, the stats go up and the upgrade cost goes up. So getting a new weapon that will last you throughout your playthrough is not an option. Just mentioning this because if you remember, one of my goals for this video is to get a legendary armament, and at the moment we are not even close. But I close my case for now on the topic of rarity. We will revisit it once the time is right, because I don't want to bore you to death just yet. So instead, let's watch this 15-second leveling montage. After defeating all 4 daily bosses in the starter area, I felt like it was time to venture outside of the borders. And our first stop was the icy plains. I have to give credit where credit is due. The map generation in this game is amazing. There are like 8 different biomes, regions, whatever you want to call them, and each of them has a unique atmosphere that you can explore. For example, enemy types change region to region, some of the dungeons get a shenanigans factor, and collectibles and healing items get some twists as well. Like the desert has its own health potion made out of cacti instead of heart flower. But that is just one of the cool ways traveling across regions changes the game. There are also portals, oceans where sailing is necessary, or volcanic plains where finding water for health flasks is harder than convincing the police officer that you only had 1 beer. Luckily for us, our next venture takes us into a region with no sizable drawbacks, and the only reason we are here is because this region has higher level enemies than our grassland area. And with this being said, let's get to slaying some dungeon bosses, and for the first time with my full ability set learned. So let me show you how to deal with a powerful foe using our full potential as an archer. First, you spot your target, catch aggro and
Discombobulate.
hit him with arrows, then
Discombobulate.
wait for him to get up, do a backdash and
Discombobulate.
if you do these moves right, the average boss will be dead in 3 to 5 business days. But for the most part, the next 2 hours of gameplay consisted of this: grabbing my hang glider, activating whoop speed, crash landing at the doorstep of an unsuspecting fella,
Discombobulate.
and rinse and repeat. And after all this bloodshed, I reached level 19, got myself a raccoon and learned pet riding and sailing. But why should we stop here? Bam, 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 bam. And we are level 25. But I don't know how big you are on mathematics, but 25 is definitely not 50. You know, the number we are aiming for. So I quickly restocked on supplies in the village and was ready to roll again. Because if anyone has a heartbeat in this region, we have a beating to do. Zoom! But it looked like I was the one who was up for a beating. The first dungeon of the day proved to be quite difficult, but I pressed on, hoping for some insane loot for completing it. And oh boy, I was not disappointed. In one of the chests halfway through the dungeon, I found the weapon I was looking for, my salvation, if I can say so. An epic crossbow with the damage number 40 attached to it. Using this crossbow, we made quick work of the dungeon boss and the Cyclops Yeti combo this biome had to offer, and can I just say this really quick, the variety in bosses, even in alpha, was fucking insane. Every biome you go to has new enemy types or bosses, even if there is no incentive to explore the world beyond this, like there is no quest line, no character development, no nothing, just this freshness in generation keeps you going for quite some time. And just as I'm saying this, we are entering a new biome, the Spring Forest. And here I have found an actual gold mine in the form of a valley filled with high-level dwarves who supplied me with an astonishing amount of experience, weapons and armor drops. Farming the normal enemies here for a day yielded me a full set of epic armor, a battle necklace and a legendary armor crafting recipe, even though I could not defeat the boss because the fight looked something like this.
What? Still here?
The rest of the loot made up for it big time, and just keep this fella in mind because we might just come back to him later on to check if the boomerang he's wielding is the legendary weapon we are looking for. But for now, onward I went to the next biome, which was an ocean. Here I tamed a new pet, got folded like an omelette and stocked up on supplies again. After I was done with practicing capitalism, it was time to sail the 7 seas again. I mean, glide the 7 seas again. And while gliding through the West Ocean, I came across a tropical island, and this was the moment when I first came face to face with one of the animals I wanted to obtain as a pet, the almighty crocodile. The other pets were slimes and snout beetles, but I had no apple rings on me, so as much as it hurt, I had to leave it and come back at a future date to maybe tame it. After letting the animal live the rest of its life peacefully, I moved back to the icy plains and got to work clearing another dungeon when the first legendary drop happened. Sadly, it was not a weapon, but a legendary drop is a legendary drop, even if it gives less crit chance than our epic chest plate. You know what they say, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Just turn it into sausage to send a message. Now that I've angered everyone from Antarctica to Puerto Toro, we can continue to farm daily bosses like there is no tomorrow. And while adventuring through the land, I have stumbled upon the hardest and craziest looking biome of the game, the Squashlands. This would be the perfect place to get the last remaining levels and maybe find our first legendary weapon. And oh boy, my prediction couldn't have been better. The first dungeon I have found was filled with enemies who dropped more legendary items than an average FedEx driver boxes. But the only problem was my gear was less than optimal clearing this out, but with clever endeavors, we can fix that. And after killing all the normal enemies in this mountain range, I reached level 49 and acquired a full set of legendary archer armor. Now we only needed a single legendary archer weapon and one more level to finish our journey and conclude this adventure once and for all. So I made my way over to the city, talked with the innkeeper and beeline to the next daily dungeon. And halfway through it, we finally hit level 50 and got a pet worthy of our name, a green slime. Now the final piece of the puzzle was the legendary weapon. The sooner we get our hands on one, the sooner I can conclude the challenge completed. You can almost say this was our 1P. You win, I'm not going to finish. Anyway, after clearing the daily dungeon fully, there was only one place where I could go. Back to the valley where we found all those legendary items and hoped for the best. Whee! I arrived at the valley filled with confidence and I was ready to be done with the challenge for once and for all. But 5 minutes of farming goes by and no legendary bow in sight. A certain type of pain was starting to take root. Another 10 painful minutes goes by and my inventory is still missing the coveted item. The pain was building. 4 respawns and a Wikipedia search later, we were still no closer. My pain tolerance was reaching its limit. 10 legendary drops later, we had at least one weapon for every class except Archer. The rope was tantalizing. Wait a minute, we actually got it! The challenge is over, we completed every goal we set out to do. Explored the world, leveled to 50, got a pet and obtained a legendary weapon. Now there is only one question left, did I have fun? And yeah, the game is just as fun as I remembered it. The enemy designs are nice, the biome generation is impeccable and the combat system still holds up. Overall, the only downside is there is no real reason to explore, but come on, this is an alpha, of course there is stuff missing. And speaking of alpha, if this video gets 1000 likes, I will buy the Steam version of this game and check what's different. But that's the subject of a future video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If yes, a sub is appreciated and I will see you again next time. Till then, take care brothers.